You set your eyes on Methoni, the pearl of the Byzantine Empire. Eager to conquer it, you erect walls, claim domains, build houses, villas and towers, and annex your opponent's territories to become the wealthiest merchant in the Peloponnese. In the following couple of minutes, I will give an overview of how Castello Methoni is played and then talk about 3 aspects that I find important in every board game: aesthetics and component quality, thematic ties, and gameplay. Are you ready to become the most influential merchant of the peninsula? Let's go! Hello everyone, my name is Ollie and you are watching Before You Buy Castello Methoni on Ollie Plays A Lot. Hopefully by the end of the video you'll have enough info to decide whether this game fits your gaming taste or not. Keep in mind that I reached out to the publisher to give me this copy of the game and I'm doing this review on his request. Castello Methoni is a card-driven competitive game for 3 to 5 players published by Mandoo Games and designed by Colovini, a designer who, among other great titles, brought us one of my first loves in the board gaming hobby, namely Incognito. Venice, the birthplace of Leo, somewhat inspired Castello Methoni as well, because here you are a merchant from Venice who set his eyes on Methoni and wants to occupy as much of this land as possible. The game is comprised of an undetermined number of rounds in which the active player can take 2 actions in any combination from the following: building a wall or trading cards at the market. In order to do the build action, you will play cards from your hands and build walls on the edge of a space that matches the card. You then place one of your houses on either side of the wall and place one of your neighbor's house on the other side. In case you close off a territory with your walls, hooray, you can claim it. Pay 1 ducat to the bank and 1 ducat to everyone who has a house there. If there are 3 houses of the same color in this new domain, they are upgraded to a villa and given back to its owner. Now place a tower of your color in this freshly occupied domain and lean back while your enemies are complotting against you and trying to take over your domain. As soon as someone claims a neighboring domain to yours, they can, and most often than not, will annex your domain. Such is life. Grow up. He pays 1 ducat for every house, 2 ducats for every triangular shape your domain is comprised of, and 5 ducats for every villa. Then tears down your wall and destroys your tower. The cool thing is, now you have money, and everyone has to be careful because a rich merchant has way more options than a poor one. Speaking of money, whenever someone plays a market card or a card that matches an activated market space, they get 2 ducats from the bank. Market cards are also useful if you want to build on the shores of the island or next to the markets. The market spaces serve 2 purposes. On one hand, they are activated and can be used by anyone as soon as they are part of a player's domain, and on the other hand, the player who controls the market at the beginning of its round earns 2 ducats. Ka-ching! Now you have enough money to conquer the whole world. Well, more or less. When the general supply of walls runs out, the game ends in the active player's turn, even if he returns 1 or more wall pieces to the supply. The final scoring happens and you convert all your money, claimed domains, and domain spaces into points. You also score points for having the largest domain and for the number of separate domains you have. The player with the most points is the most prestigious merchant and wins the game. The box promises a colorful experience, and as soon as we open it, we are greeted by a one-sided hexagonal pastel-colored board, illustrated by Jakub Rebelka. Methoni is comprised of 6 territory types, each having the same size and shape. A big body of water surrounds the island and ships are approaching from the north side of the island. There is a feeling of serenity looking at the board and watching it come to life piece by piece. In the upper right corner, a marking is visible, points you get for owning the largest domain and points you get after the number of domains you have. Putting there everything that you can see on the score sheet would have been of a big help for everyone. Now that only 2 out of 5 game end scoring is visible here, it's just weird. Plastic was used to make these 3D elements: walls, houses, villas, and towers. The bigger pieces are hollow and make a sound familiar to Lego pieces when they fall on each other. The doors, windows, brick base and knurled roof of the villas and towers make a great first impression on everyone I played with, and the happiness of pouring them on the table sets you in the mood for playing the game. Oh, and almost everyone tries to stack the towers on top of the villas. That just won't happen, guys, trust me. I've tried it too many times. The houses are little cubes, and although I understand that the size didn't allow for a better design, I wished they were more consistent with the other elements. The cards are similar in size and touch to the resource cards in Catan, and their illustration matches the triangular shapes on the board. The only cards that gave me a headache are the objective cards. I have no idea why they didn't list the land types in the order they appear on the board. Putting them in a random order is just nonsense, but not the end of the world. Overall, Castello Methoni gets a 7 out of 10 for its aesthetics and component quality. Castello Methoni is an abstract game with a modern clothing, and the thematic ties are loose like the promised delivery date of a Kickstarter project. Has anyone received his game on time? Only Red Raven delivers on time. Love you, Team Lockett. You are a merchant, and this comes through the game nicely because you are not occupying your opponents by force, but rather by paying them, and they have to accept the money. And because of this, the markets play an important role because they can generate you money at the beginning of your round, and also if one market is activated, as previously mentioned, you play a card and it gives you money. Don't ask me what the thematic tie is here, just be happy you got money, man. Team is not the strong point of this game, so it gets a 6 out of 10 from me. The rules of the game are easily digestible, and even non-gamers will have a strategy from the get-go. The examples given in the rule sheet are on point and explain most of the concerns you will have while playing. Still, there are some minor rules that are important and I kept forgetting. Whenever you play a market card, there is no need for an active market. You get 2 ducats anytime you play a market card. Oh, but I had so many market cards and I kept throwing them away because you said there has to be an active market. You're a cheater, said everyone I played with. The game scales well. The more players, the more wall pieces are in the game, and the less money they are dealt at the beginning. The game's replay value is mainly given by the objective cards, and I wish there were even more objective cards. The ones that come with the game depict 3 neighboring land types, and you receive 1 ducat for every space that you control there. It's a pity that there are no objective cards that give you 2 ducats for 3 non-neighboring land types. Having 4 smaller domains is more difficult to defend than having 1 large one. Ain't nobody got money for that. When speaking of defense, don't think about it in the traditional sense of the word. Here you don't have soldiers that can defend your territories, and walls won't do that either. The only way to defend yourself is by increasing the value of your domain to the extent that no other player can buy it from you. Whenever a domain is claimed, the triangular shapes double their value, meaning you had to pay 1 ducat to the bank, but you will receive 2 ducats if anyone occupies your domain. Also, with a good strategy, you had 3 houses of the same color in your domain, and these upgraded to villas. These will also earn you 2 ducats more. And keep in mind, ducats convert to points at the end of the game, and I've played a game where the only points a player earned were his money, and he made 35 points. So whenever you claim domains or annex other domains, you are practically losing points in the hope of earning more points with this move. Neat. I thoroughly enjoy this. Another thing I really enjoyed is that money is limited. You have to fight for every ducat, and the money you were given at the beginning of the game vanishes quicker than pizza at the game night. You are always on the edge. You are checking how much money your opponents have, trying to stash enough to claim a domain and to annex the neighboring one, and being one ducat short from making the move hurts like watching someone touch your precious cards with greasy fingers. Don't you dare touch my cards, man! Because of this, there is a palpable and sweet tension in the game. Gameplay gets an 8 out of 10 from me. I would mainly recommend Castello Methoni to anyone who is looking for a family-weight card-driven board game with a pleasant and cursive gameplay. It is a great gateway game for newbies thanks to its abstracted nature, beautiful table presence, and ease of play. If you're interested, make sure you check out Mandoo Games' booth in Essen and pick up your very own copy of the game. My name is Ollie, and you have been watching Before You Buy Castello Methoni on Ollie Plays a Lot. See you next time. Happy gaming!